You just mentioned like eco-stress.
Mm.
You know, these plants are stressed out. Do you feel like plants are intelligent? Because a lot of people, I know they talk about your fungi being intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well,
about
you
that?
seem pretty intelligent.
Not really.
You
Though.
seem like a fun guy. There we go. You're a fun guy. There we
It's a
go.
science show.
There we go. Science joke, people. Science. I'll keep my day job. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, so we like to anthropomorphize plants and animals and cups. Oh, yeah, my cup talking. So, ultimately, it's a good way to I say, oh, plants are feeling stressed. They're feeling stressed. But they've evolved, right? They've evolved through adaptation, survival of the fittest, and there's things that work that makes it look like they're making decisions. So one interesting aspect is that big trees will support their younger trees, or even competing species that are around them, and they'll have these deep roots, and while everyone's running out of water at the surface, they might tap some deep groundwater way below. They'll bring that water up, and they won't actually use it. Then they'll just spit it out to the surface through their shallow roots, allowing their seedlings to use it and survive, and maybe some of their competing species. So then we say, well, are they nurturing their young, or it could just be that that's how they survive, because trees that didn't do that didn't survive. And so they had a mutation and adaptation along the evolutionary way that just did that, and then they survived when the other species didn't.
What do you think? You think they're nurturing their young?
No.
Okay.
But
okay.
But I still use that phrasing because it gets people like emotionally connected. It's good to have that too. But we have to be real sometimes with the science. But there are also interesting things with the fungi too, right? The fungi are the communication. That's another one, right? Communication are plants signaling to their neighboring trees that there's a locust infestation or some sort of beetle infestation. And yes, they do, but it's not like they're like, oh shit, I gotta text my buddies, right? They're like, they evolved to do this, and the trees that sent out these signals and the trees that were sensitive to the signals survived when the other species didn't. So there's these communication.
How would they react though? I mean, give me an example. Like, so there's some kind of beetle infestation.
Yeah.
So what kind of signal is sent?
Yeah, so it's chemical. So they'll like emit these chemicals into the air, and then if you're a leaf on a tree, on another tree, and you get this chemical, you'll react, and then you can put on defensive compounds. You can suddenly increase like the waxiness of your leaves, or put on these. You can actually, as a tree, emit other chemicals that the beetles don't like or will kill the beetles. And so, I guess the question is, why aren't trees out doing this all the time, right? Because it takes resources, right? They have to build this. That's the sugars that they create from photosynthesis can be used for, it's like money. How do you spend your money? And trees have to decide how to spend their sugar money. Do they spend it on building new roots, getting taller, new leaves, seeds, fruits, defensive compounds? And so if they spent it on defensive compounds, they might not grow, right? Because they're not spending on growth. Or they might not grow on roots to get more water. So it's these optimality decisions.
So you need a good accountant in there.
You need a good accountant. It's a total economy. And that's why you have people who do well with their economics, and people who don't. And it's kind of a conservative liberal principle too. Why do we have conservative and liberal people? It's the same as it's the same in plants. There are conservative plants and there are liberal plants. And it usually is because of evolutionary history, their life history. Plants that are used to droughts know that they get over it really quick, and they're like, all right, let's just keep using water. We know the rain will come again. Other plants will be like, no, we'll be more conservative because, the droughts are less frequent or more frequent. And so there's these life histories that's why not all plants function the same way. That's why not all humans function the same way.